I think we overcomplicate the content that we have to give out when we are hosting free events, because everyone talks about, oh, you're giving the what and the why, but you're not giving the how. I disagree with that. You are giving the what, like what this business blueprint is. We're giving you that. We're giving you why it's important. And we're giving you tastes of the how. And that is my biggest secret, is like, I'm validating you. I know where you are. I know where you want to go because I know my clients inside and out. Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the quantum coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. Welcome back, Badass Manifesting fam. I'm so excited for our solo episode today for so many reasons. One reason in particular is because I create a lot of opportunities for people to connect inside of my community, whether it's my paid programs, my paid communities, or my free communities. And there's definitely those like connection points throughout the year that we make it a point to make in order for people to connect into what we have going on here. And so the theme this month on the podcast, and honestly the theme in my business, which is like I'm always trying to share what's relevant, what's real, and what's happening for us, is that this month is all about live events. How to create live events. We have multiple live events going on. We had our QCA live event that I talked about a little bit last week, and we're going into promotion for our 5-day free event called Big Coach Energy Live that we host twice a year. And of course, I want you all to come. Please do. The link is in the show notes. The link is in my Instagram bio, or you can go to quantumcoachco.com/BCE live. Obviously, I want you to join us. Okay, so how valuable would it be for you to learn how to create amazing live events for your business, for your community, that actually get people to trust you, to engage with you, and to buy from you? How amazing would it feel for it to actually feel easy and not stress out about the content that you're creating for that event, but to make that content so simple yet so impactful? And that's exactly what I want to teach you today, a little bit behind the scenes on how I prep for these events, share some stories about some events that I've led in the past, and give you the goods. You might want to take some notes. There's a lot that goes into creating a successful, engaged, potent, powerful live event. There's a lot that goes into it. And so often I have had past clients say to me, I've created this free event and nobody showed up. Nobody bought anything. It didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. And here's the thing. There are very specific ways that I like to lead my live events. And I'm going to give you behind the scenes of how I lead them and how I lead them in a way that creates maximum engagement, that promotes community, that promotes sales, and connects strangers to each other, because that is so key. So there's a difference between creating community in the space, and then there's and then a whole nother level of creating connection where there's strangers in your group that do not know each other, and now they do. And what does that create inside of your community? It creates trust. It creates reliability. It creates this deep rapport. And when you have that deep rapport built inside of your space, even with people that are brand new to you, that is what builds a deep trust. And that's what makes people want to be in your space, because that's where they feel safe. And I feel like safety is a huge piece of this as well. So I'm going to dive in. I'm going to give you a framework to work off of that you can use when you create your free events. And here's the thing, you don't just want to create a free event just for the hell of it, right? You want to create a free event that's impactful. And that's always my intention. So the first part of the framework is always intention. Intention, intention, intention. So for example, the first free event that I ever had in my business was a digital vision board workshop, and it was online, totally free. And I promoted the shit out of it to my local community. I had a local community of yogis and yoga friends, yoga teachers, and we did it online. And it was my first one, and I was so nervous. And I remember my tech was glitching, and it was just like, it was kind of a mess, honestly, the first one. But what wasn't a mess was my intention. My intention was to give massive value, and I didn't really want anything in return. My main goal was to just give and pour into my community without asking for something back. And I mean, what I wanted back, I guess, was just trust. And so because I did that, I remember after that event, I think at the very end, I told them that I have 30-minute free, coaching sessions, which were like my discovery calls at the time. And my inbox was absolutely flooded. I remember taking screenshots being like, holy shit, this is wild. And I really didn't even sell my coaching at all. So I feel like because I knew basically nothing about online business, like really nothing, my intention was so pure and so heart-led that I was like, I don't care what I get in return. I want to lead this workshop, and I want to pour into these people that want to be there. And so I feel like a lot of times online where everyone's learning business, you're like, okay, give free value, and then you sell something, and then you make money in your business. And everything comes back to energy for me. It's like, yeah, when you expect that, sure, that's good. Like that could happen. And I feel like it leads with this energy of giving to get. And we just need to adjust that's okay if that's your goal. If your goal is to make money, that's cool. I get it. And when you lead from the place of, I'm giving because it's in my heart and I can't not do this. And I hope to sell spots in my program too. Like that's my ultimate goal, right? But I want to give this value because I can't not. I have to have it. I have to do it, right? That's your intention. It's pure, okay? So just check your intention, number 1. Number 2, plan your platform with purpose. So the platform really does matter where you host your event. You want to create it in a platform where you can create maximum engagement and community. And there's pros and cons to different platforms. So for example, if you host a live event in Facebook, which is where we typically host Big Coach Energy Live, I personally like it for a couple reasons. 1, there's really great conversation that can happen between you and the people that are joining you for your event, your audience. And there's great communication between audience members, which you can also have in Zoom. However, I like to give homework as part of my event. So if you come to Big Coach Energy Live, which is jam-packed with everything you need to become a world-class coach, I'm just going to plug it along the way. We have some homework. It's easy homework, but we also encourage you to connect with other people in the group. And that means sending a message to someone. And so that's one of my secret tips is have your community send messages to each other. Have them get to know each other privately. You can't do that on Zoom. That's the one thing because it's Zoom, you can't find their profile and connect with them and send them a message. So there's really different reasons you would want to be in Zoom versus Facebook. It depends on if you want your event to be interactive, and that's just my vibe. I'm always wanting my events to be interactive. I can't stand it when you're in a Zoom and you can't see the other audience members. You can't tell how many people are there. I just don't personally like that. You want to ensure, if you want to have an interactive platform, that your platform has features like chats, polls, Q&As, and it's up to you to encourage that engagement, which we'll talk about in a minute. So platform matters, just saying. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3 is your content, creating compelling content. And this is where the facilitation piece comes in. And inside of QCA, we teach our coaches how to build the structure of your group coaching programs and how to hold the container of a group program. And this is a bit different because you're not in a program yet, but you're giving people a preview of what that could be like with you when you are hosting your free events, right? They're definitely previewing whether or not they feel safe with you, whether or not they feel heard and seen by you. And so within the content creation portion of your live events, this is where you can really let people know that you see them and you validate them where they are. I think that so often people get caught up in the content web of thinking they have to give the kitchen sink away in order for people to trust them. And that's actually not true. More than anything, people just want to feel seen and validated, and like you as their coach understand exactly where they are. So in your content, you obviously have to know who your ideal client is. That goes without saying. But let me give you a couple examples of what I mean by this, okay? So this time around for Big Coach Energy Live, we did a 3-day event always, and then it became a 4-day event over the last two times we led it. And now it's a 5-day event because I keep updating the content inside of Big Coach Energy Live because I want it to be a new experience for you. And I want it to be bigger, better, bolder. Like that's just my style, right? More engaging, more powerful, more impactful. So anyway, day 5 is now a new day of Big Coach Energy Live that I'm so excited about because day 5 is all about how to blow up your coaching business, how to go from honing your craft of being an amazing, powerful leader and coach to actually being a paid coach and what that looks like and what needs to be in place. And we have a business mastermind inside of QCA. So yes, you're going to learn how to become, world-class in your craft and know how to coach someone like the best in the world. And we have a business mastermind where you also hand in hand learn how to grow your business. And we have a coach for that. And the coach, of course, is a quantum coach because once you go through QCA, our coaches are like, I don't want to be coached by anyone else other than a quantum coach. And that's like the highest compliment we could ever receive. Okay, so the point I want to make here is that the 5th day of Big Coach Energy Live that's coming up, the dates are May 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Join us. We have Callie, who is the business mentor for QCA. And we're going to be talking about how to blow up your coaching business and what the quantum business blueprint is all about. And we're going to talk about how to gain clarity in your business. We're going to talk about your content, your connection, how to build your community, and your craft. And so as we were on a meeting yesterday creating the content for day 5 of Big Coach Energy Live, we were having the best time ever. And basically what you want to do when you create content for your free events, and this is such a hack that no one tells you about, you want to create immediate transformation in the space. Okay, so that's the first thing. You want to give them something that makes a difference. So you do want to give them a tool, but most importantly, you want to validate where they are now and how your program is going to take them to where they want to go. Okay, so for example, for clarity, right? We're going to let you know that you might have no idea right now what kind of coach you want to be or who your ideal client is. And that's okay. So let's just break down that validation right there. It's like, it's not even a pain point. It's a validation point where You are letting someone know that you know exactly where they are, because a lot of times coaches that come into QCA, they have no idea what kind of coach they want to be or who their ideal client is. And so I'm speaking to them and I'm saying that's okay if you don't know that, because we're going to help you figure it out inside of your business mentorship, inside the program. And so then we're going to give them a nugget of, how they can show up right now without knowing that, right? How they can start from where they are right now. So are we going to give them the full outline on how to gain clarity in your business? We can't. We literally can't do it in that amount of time. That's why you have a program to join to learn how to do that. However, we're going to give you massive value just by validating where you are right now, right? So another validation point is you might have no idea what your message or niche would be. And that's okay. And we're going to help you figure out how to connect to clarity in your business without knowing what your niche is right now, right? And we know that a lot of new coaches, when they're trying to figure out who they are in their business, they have a hard time with content. And so we have a lot under content validating where they are right now, right? We know that the people that are probably attending Big Coach Energy Live, and maybe you listening right now, maybe you've never showed up on Instagram before, right? And so you have a personal page and creating content feels overwhelming. Or maybe you don't like social media, but you still want to become a coach. Or you have great content visions, but you really don't know how to take action on them. We are going to help you take immediate action. So by us giving you a few nuggets in this short free session of how to take action on creating content, that's going to give a micro transformation in our session. And when you can give a micro transformation, people sit with those transformations that they received in your free event and they think, wow, imagine if I joined this program, what would be possible for me? Right? So I think we overcomplicate the content that we have to give out when we are hosting free events, because everyone talks about, oh, you're giving the what and the why, but you're not giving the how. I disagree with that. You are giving the what, what this business blueprint is. We're giving you that. We're giving you why it's important. And we're giving you tastes of the how. And that is my biggest secret, is I'm validating you. I know where you are. I know where you want to go because I know my clients inside and out. So you got to know who your clients are. And if you don't worry. We'll help you figure that out inside of QCA, or come to the free event and you'll get those micro transformations of starting to figure it out. And I love giving transformations inside of my free events because that leaves people different than they walked in. And that's what you want. You want people to leave different than when they walked in. So think to yourself, what is a slice of my content that I can share that's going to give them a transformation and it's going to make a difference for them right now? And so the second part of that is, not only do you want to do that, but when I'm facilitating, when I'm leading, I'm not talking at you. I don't like talking at you. Right now I'm talking at you because I'm in the podcast. I'm not really talking at you. I'm talking with you, right? And I don't want to ever make people feel like I'm talking at them. I'm not preaching to the choir, I'm having a conversation with you right now. I hope that you're listening to this and you're like, yeah, I feel that. Yes, yes, yes. I always want it to be conversational. And I say that anytime I lead anything. I'm sure one day when I give a TED Talk, I'm going to be like, this is a conversation. Just kidding. You probably can't do that when you give a TED Talk. But when I host my free virtual events, it's a conversation. And when you think of it that way, it becomes engaging as fuck. Okay, so let me give you an example of a conversation. So when I'm validating inside of these events, I might have a slide up. And yes, I like to work with slides with my live events because I think people have different learning styles. So that's a whole other thing of engagement, is paying attention to their learning styles. But I might have a slide up that has numbers instead of bullets. And number 1 might say, you might be a baby coach just starting out. Or number 2 might say you might be a coach that's been at it for a while who's ready to take it to another level. Or number 3 might say you might be an experienced coach who has a massive business but wants to up-level their skill set. Which one are you? Tell me, put it in the chat. Are you number 1, 2, or 3? That's just an example of creating engagement, okay? Or I'll pose a question. Like, what was that moment of connection that led you to this room right now? Okay. What was that moment of connection with me, with my content that led you to want to be at Big Coach Energy Live right now? Because something got you here, right? And I'll say, what was it? Put it in the chat, share it with me. And then I'll interact with them and I'll say people's names and I'll say, listen, Jenna, I'm so glad that you made it here today. Like, the fact that you took your lunch break to be with us is huge. And I'm so glad that you did. Or someone might say, I heard you on the podcast and I couldn't not be there. And I'm like, wow, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And I'm making them feel seen and heard because I care about you, right? Like, I genuinely want to know who you are. You took time out of your day to listen to this episode. You took time out of your day to show up to this free event. Yes, there's going to be massive value for you. And I want to make sure that you feel special because you came here, and that is special to me. And so this might sound crazy, but like genuinely caring about your people, genuinely caring about your people is so important. So creating opportunities for engagement. If there's a tool that you have that you can facilitate to create an experience, do that. Asking questions, do that. Polling people, do that. Scaling questions we teach inside of QCA on a scale of 1 to 10. How ready are you to step into your big coach energy? 1 being, I feel semi-ready. 10 being, I feel super ready, right? That's going to generate a conversation in the group because that conversation, it lets people know in the chat, this is the biggest thing, that they're not alone, that they're feeling the same way, and that there's safety in being vulnerable with where you are right now in this area of your life that you want to up level in. Because it can feel vulnerable if you're an experienced coach and you're like, I've been in this business game for a while and I'm showing up to this live event, which might feel, strange to someone who's been in the business for a long time. And I want to up level my coach, even though I have a thriving coaching practice. Because if there's other people in the group that have that same thing, then they're like, oh my gosh, okay, good. I'm not alone here. This is a safe place for me to be. So when we create opportunities in the chat for our community to feel like they're not alone and they feel seen, heard, and validated, this is literally my secret. If they feel seen, heard, and validated, they're going to feel safe and connected. And they're going to feel like you could be the right mentor for them, the right teacher for them, the right coach for them to learn and to step into and invest into this next phase of what they're embarking on. So that's huge. Creating content that creates that engagement and community is massive. And then always leaving them with some sort of homework, I think, is really cool to continue the conversation in the group. That's another reason why I like Facebook groups for live events, is because you can have them do homework and you can keep track of it. So if you have some sort of giveaway, which is another thing I wanted to share, that is also a really great way to promote engagement, because the more people interact with the content, with the free event, the better, right? The more impact it's going to have, and the more people are engaged, the more people are likely to stay engaged. So having a giveaway really does promote engagement. And I mean, isn't that what we all really desire, is engagement with our content that we work so hard on and we want to really leverage and share with as many people as possible? Yes, engagement is so key. And the last part of the framework is really important in creating epic, engaging, potent live events, and that is getting hype AF. You have to be your own hype person, okay? When I first started my business and I didn't know what the F I was doing, literally a baby coach, and I was creating these live events because I wanted to build a community. I had to be my own hype girl. I had to be like, this is going to grow my community. This is it. This is going to work. I'm so excited about what I have to share. You have to be so excited about your content, about how epic this event is going to be and the impact that it's going to have, because that energy is what makes people want to sign up. Like, I know without a shadow of a doubt that Big Coach Energy Live is life-changing for coaches, whether or not they join QCA. There is so much value, it should be paid. But I don't want it to be paid because I want to share like literally the tip of the iceberg of what's inside of QCA. And so if that's going to change someone's life and potentially their business and potentially their income, it's worth it for me because I live for the ripple effect. And I know how valuable that content is, and I know how valuable what I have to share inside of it is. And so I'm excited about it because I know that it's life-changing, and I know that it will make a difference for you if you show up and you do the work in the live event. So that energy is really certain. And when you can show up in full certainty as you are promoting your events and sharing your events and inside of your event, that certainty is absolutely magnetic. When you're embodying that energy, I mean, there's no words. There's no words. People have to be there. They have to be in it. They have to be part of it. And I know you might be thinking, okay, I've never led a live event before. How do I know? How can I really get behind the event if it's the first time that I'm ever leading it, right? Because when you're creating your stuff, you're creating it basically in the dark, right? Where you're like, I hope this is good. I think it's really good. I think it's going to be really impactful. But how do I know if it really is? Or how do I know if it's really going to make a difference for my people? And here's the thing. I'm not about faking it until you make it, but I'm about being it until you see it. Embodying the energy of miracles anyway. Embodying the energy of this is life-changing. It really cuts out that doubt. It really cuts out that feeling that's like, I don't know if this is going to be impactful. No, you do know because it flowed through you and it came from your heart and you have something to share with the world. And now after listening to this episode, you know how to make it engaging as fuck. You know it's going to transform them. That's it. You know it's going to transform them. So get the doubt out of your head and start embodying the energy, even if it's the first time you're ever leading anything for free. Embodying the energy of miracles, that you know how epic this is, that you know how powerful this is going to be, because it's your certainty that's going to make other people feel certain in you. And that is so key. And so with all that being said, please come to Big Coach Energy Live. Join us. If not for anything, do it for your own research of how I facilitate this 5-day event. This is going to be big. The event is from 12 to 1 EST every day. I'm going to try and make them even less time because I know we all busy. And you have to be registered for the event because there are epic giveaways and prizes. So please register. We're giving away swag. We have, I don't know if you're new here, but we have a Big Coach Energy shop. It's bigcoachenergyshop.com. And I've got lots of swag to give away. We're giving away money towards QCA and other things. So definitely enroll into the event. I'm so excited about it. Like this time around, if you've been there before, it's going to be totally different. So please come. Please come and be part of it. It's going to be magical. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. And I hope that the tools in this episode help you grow your community, grow your trust, grow your certainty, and also make you some money, because that's my goal. I want to be as impactful as possible always in everything that I share. So if this made an impact on you, please leave a review. Leave a review. It'll take you 5 seconds. Hit the 5 stars. Let me know how this has impacted you. It would mean the world to me. I put my heart and soul into all of this content that I share with you. And yeah, it helps to know, like, with 1 million downloads, we have 400-ish reviews, or like a little less than. And I know there's more people listening that have listened for a long time, and it's definitely been helpful to them. And I really would just ask that you would just take a moment to leave us a review because it's incredibly helpful to us. So thank you so much for listening, for being here, for being part of the Badass Manifestor community. And join us at Big Coach Energy Live. It's going down next week. It's going down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. There will be replays if you can't make them live. Do not worry. But in the meantime, let me know how this episode lands with you. And I can't wait for all the goodness of all the live event stuff this month on the podcast and in Big Coach Energy Live and in all the places. I'm here to support you always. Until next time, my friends. Mwah. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.